tell you a little bit about me. My name is Latricia. I'm the #1 professional aviation resume specialist and your career lifestyle coach. I am the founder, that is supposed to say founder, not ounder, the founder of Business Build Resume. It's been in existence since 2016, and we have over a 90% success rate getting clients interviews, hired, and or promotions. Now, I stand to help job seekers polish their resumes and land jobs for almost 10 years now. Yes, and my clients range from C-suite level, entrepreneurs, HR, aviation, all fields, we touch them. Now, what we will be learning today, we'll learn what is a resume, as well as the different types of resumes, the ATS system, and what is that, because a lot of people don't even know what that is. I'll show you what that is tonight, and ultimately how to land the job. Now, what is a resume? Now, a resume, your resume specifically, is your best friend. Your best friend walking into a room before you even get there and talking about how great you are. Your resume is your first impression of you. It's your marketing tool. It's going to tell your story. So always make sure you include relevant work history, relevant education, relevant volunteer experience, organizations, honors or awards or certifications. And the reason why I say relevant so much, because people think that they have 20 years history of a 20-year career history, and they want to put it all on there, thinking that it highlights them and brings out the best. However, it does not. You want to keep it relevant. Your resume is your wow factor. You have less than 6 seconds to grab your employer's attention, to grab the attention of a recruiter, hiring manager, or whoever it may be that's looking at it. You want your resume to convey how you're going to contribute positively to the company through storytelling. And I'm going to tell you more about this story that your resume needs to tell. So resumes are concise. As you can take a look at the resume to the right side of the screen, before you begin writing your resume, it's crucial to understand 5 basic sections that need to be on this document. Now, start with the header. Now that here, let's see. Okay, I don't have a pointer. So right at the top where you see the name, you'll have your name and your contact information. This one here starts with a name as well as the title. So do not forget your title. Your title would be the position that you're looking to hold. This client here was searching for a graphic designer and a growth hacker. Now that we started with their first and last name, the title, and then he moved down to a professional summary. A professional summary tells the company or tells who's reading your resume what you have done in your career and where you stand out at. And let's not forget a professional email address, your city and state. Do not include, this one does not include your resume no longer includes your whole address. As well as add in your LinkedIn profile link, as well as your phone number, a good contact information, and any other information that you may have. For example, this client here has a website, which is john-branson.com. What that may lead to is what I call is a career brag book. So that is their portfolio, so to speak, and telling them more and more about themselves. And then let's not forget to go down to your work history. Don't forget your work history. Do not forget your skills, and do not forget your relevant certifications as well as your education here. So moving right along, there are 3 types of resume formats. Now we have the chronological resume, which will list your latest work experience first, which is where people, mainly start at when writing a resume. As well as now, format number 2 is a functional resume format. This one focuses on your skills and achievements to highlight those, and I'll explain each more in depth as we go further along. And then you have your third combination, which is best for those who have diverse skill sets. So now, as we move along to the chronological resume, and this one lists your job starting with your current one, your most recent one, and then going down to your most earliest work history. Now, this one here best fits candidates with consistent work history. However, let me highlight that you do not want your resume, do not go past 10 years, period. Do not go past 10 years listing out your work history. Now, moving on to functional work history. This one focuses on transferable skills, which generally used by career changers, people with employment gaps, or someone that, like one of my, someone that posted in the chat said they would like to go from the medical insurance industry and move into the IT field. So you, Nicole, I think it was, you would definitely work on a functional, you'll start with a functional format. And that functional format would definitely focus on transferable skills there. Now, and this is pretty much, you can set it up this way. So for functional resume format, we'll start with the summary. So don't forget your professional summary. And then you'll move down to relevant skills. And you want those skills to be highlighted. As you see how they have the different highlighted skills there, and then what accomplishment they have, they've achieved under each skill. And then you'll also go ahead and add your professional experience, and then your education and relevant certifications that you have moving into that new role that you're seeking. So then we're going to move into the combination resume. The combination resume, it highlights your best skills in a creative way. And this one more so is used for creators, people in graphic design, people that are web developers, and different things like that. So now one of our biggest things is, what you don't want to forget is storytelling in your resume. You need to highlight the reactions of challenges. So what we know, companies use this thing called STAR format. And the STAR format in your resume really pretty much speaks on the situation you were in, the task that was given, the action that you took, and what was the results. So when you're writing your resume, you want to do what you did, how you did it, and what's the results that you came up with. So in storytelling, as you see, like, let's say in the first, under the first job here as a Air Force civilian, now you see the little small paragraph there. The paragraph there will highlight your biggest accomplishments in a story, kind of telling so much of what you did in that role, how you contribute so much positive and great work to the company and to the role, and what was the results you got out of it. So it really want to show the impact that you have in that workplace, how things started and now how they're going. And when you write your resume in a storytelling format, it is definitely going to explain most of the interview questions. So when it comes time to interview for the position or the role that you're applying for, it'll be much easier because you've already thought a lot of it through when you were writing your resume. And that helps. Now, so remember I told you I was going to show you what it takes, what an ATS is and how to pass it. Now, an ATS, which I'm sure a lot of people may or may not have heard of it, but an ATS is an applicant tracking system. Now, this helps recruiters figure out who they're going to choose. As you know, as we all know, for any given job, a recruiter can get over 200 resumes coming through. You think they're going to read all of them? No, they're definitely not. So right here is where you want to make sure that you have the best resume, which is your best friend. Don't forget, your resume is your best friend. So when you have, so hopefully you guys got a best friend that speaks highly of you, that's always putting you in the mix. And hopefully you're doing the same thing for your best friend as well. But you know what I mean? Your resume will speak highly of you. in front of recruiters, in front of hiring managers, and you need to know what needs to be on there, what needs to be said. So the ATS and the applicant tracking system, it scans resumes, it scores them accordingly to the job descriptions in which you're applying for. And even though you can never know the criteria that recruiters are choosing from, that they're looking at, however, you still need to be in good standings. So I teach you more in depth about ATS tracking, ATS systems, how to tailor your resume, how to make it a great fit. So as you see over here, under 6 modernized resumes that optimize to pass the ATS system, you want to make sure that, number one, you choose the correct resume format. Number 2, you want to make sure that you highlight targeted keywords. Number 3, make sure your skills are relevant to the position that you are applying for. You don't want to be so far off that they're like, what job were you applying for? You don't want to be applying for a teacher, but you got a forklifting job. You got forklifting experience all on your resume. How is that going to work? Unless you're teaching about how to be a forklift, a forklifter. So also just, you want to include relevant experience. You want to make sure that it's organized and categorized properly, as I spoke before. And then we're going to move on along to just give you a little more tips for passing the ATS system. See, this here resume here is, it is tailored towards a specific job. You have to tailor your resume. You choose your best resume format out of the 3 that I explained to you before early in the presentation. You have those different choices. Now, it has to be an ATS compliant resume template, because not all resumes, you don't want to go to Canva thinking that you're going to create the best resume and it's going to get seen. It's not. You do not include your pictures on your resume. It's not going to work. Also, always, but what you do want to have is have keywords in your resume. You also want to make sure that your skills are relevant to the position that you're applying for. And do not hesitate to add accomplishments from any volunteer work, any previous experience. Add accomplishments in your resume. Those stick out, because then again, that's, as I spoke before, you're informing them of the situations you've taken, what it was like when you first got there, and now that you've been there for a couple years, you want to establish and show them how you have grown in that position, how you've helped the company, period. So if you follow these steps that I listed above, your resume will be 100% compliant, period. You want to be ready. So now, keywords, as I spoke of, those are the most critical parts of your resume, because they're the determining factors on how well your best friend will actually talk about you. Those will talk about you. Adding keywords would be specifically for that job. And how you need to get to those keywords is pay attention to the job description. Pay attention to the job description. Then you want to think about and highlight your skills that you currently have. How can you correlate those skills to the job description that they have for the job title? And pay attention, because like I said, one resume is not a one fits all. So you have to tailor each resume to each position that you are applying for. You can't say, hey, I want to apply for customer service or anything. We can't do your resume like that. It will not be seen. So it's critical to pay attention to that. The hardest thing about writing resumes is having to be picky. Be critical about the information that you share and the words you use. It's critical. So just as valuable as the resume itself is, just as valuable as the resume itself is the process of compiling it. It entails drafting your story. You're talking about you, how you can implement, how you can show up, how you can show up and show out when you get the job. Because your resume got one goal, and that's just to explain the course of what you've done and what you can do. So, as Abraham Lincoln said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Now, I do want to thank you guys all for attending our session. I, again, like I explained, that I have a moment where you guys can ask questions. So anybody that jumped in the chat, anybody that came late, I would love for you to go ahead and type in the chat where you're tuning in from, as well as what industry you are in. And I do have a few resources for you guys. Now you can go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Now the first one, jobscan.co, that one you will be able to align your resume with the job description that you are going to apply for. So therefore, you do not, it will take the headache of seeing how your resume may add up to what recruiters see. As well as the second one, word clouds. These, you will go here and it will help you get guided keywords for your resume. You'll copy the job description, put it in word cloud, and it'll pop up and give you the information in regards to that you need, the keywords that you need to put in your resume.